Hello everybody and welcome to my monthly Vietnam update. In July, the Vietnamese benchmarking index increased slightly by 1.2% in US dollar terms. That was primarily driven by improving company earnings in the second quarter. The AFC Vietnam Fund again had positive months, with its NAV increasing by 1.6%, according to internal estimates. Hi, my name is Andreas Vogelsanger. I'm the CEO of the AFC Vietnam Fund. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel in order not to miss any updates. Thank you. The AFC Vietnam Fund is outperforming the benchmark index with a year-to-date return of around 7.4% compared to the VN Index year-to-date performance in US dollar terms of 6.4%. This success is primarily due to our strategic focus on sectors with strong growth potential this year, such as export, consumption and public investments. Since April, stocks in the consumption and export sectors began to surge following impressive Q1 earnings initiating their recovery. From May to July, stocks in the public investment sector also rallied significantly, including LBM, one of our largest portfolio positions. Vietnam ranked first in ASEAN for PMI, a measure of the prevailing direction of economic trends in manufacturing in June, reflecting the country's remarkable economic growth and improvement in the second quarter. GDP growth in Q2 2024 reached the second highest reading over the past 13 years. The economy showed improvement across all aspects, including industrial production, exports, FDI, consumption, and even a state budget surplus. This positive economic performance was strongly supported by a sharp increase in the PMI figure, which rose by 4.4 points from 50.3 in May to 54.7 in June, marking the highest PMI in Southeast Asia. As mentioned above, export and consumption earnings improved significantly in the first half of 2024, boosting the fund's performance. For example, Haxaco, HAX, the largest Mercedes car dealer in Vietnam, reported a substantial increase in Q2 2024. HAX net profit skyrocketed by 11 times to 22 billion Vietnamese dong from the low of 2 billion Vietnamese dong in the second quarter of 2023. The second quarter is normally the low season of the year. The low interest rate policy supported HAX business as clients began purchasing more luxury cars. In addition to Mercedes, Haxaco recently became a dealer for MG, originally a British sports car manufacturer now under Chinese ownership, that offered numerous favorable terms for distribution in Vietnam, significantly boosting HAX profits. Other consumer companies in our portfolio also showed impressive improvements. For instance, Mobile World Group, MWG, saw its earnings to increase by 69 times, and Thien Long Group, TLG, Vietnam's largest stationery company, achieved a 43.4% growth in net profit in Q2 2024. TLG had faced challenges due to low demand post-COVID-19 and competition from Chinese products. However, leveraging its strong financial position, TLG launched high-margin products related to art such as coloring books, drawing books and crayons. The shift, coupled with the recovery of domestic consumption, bolstered TLG's earnings and improved its stock performance. We strongly believe that TLG will soon surpass its previous peak of 61,500 Vietnamese dong per share to reach a new 52-week high. Besides consumption stocks, Our export stocks also showed significant improvements in Q2 2024, supported by strong fundamentals and earnings. For instance, Phu Thai Company, PTP, the largest Vietnamese furniture exporter, reported a robust recovery. PTP's net profits in the first half of 2024 increased by 23.4% to 204 billion Vietnamese dong, driven by strong revenue growth in the US market and restocking trends among US enterprises. While PTP's net profit hasn't surpassed its peak in 2022, we believe this milestone will be reached by 2025 or 2026, when the US recognizes Vietnam as a market economy and the comprehensive strategic partnership becomes effective. As we analyzed in our previous reports, the comprehensive partnership with the US in 2013 significantly boosted Vietnam's FDI and export to the US, growing from $24 billion in 2013 to $100 billion in 2022. We are optimistic that the comprehensive strategic partnership established in 2023 will similarly drive a sharp increase in Vietnam's export value to the US over the next decade. Another sector we focus on is public investment, which has also started to show strong performance, and one of our largest positions is Lam Dong Mineral, LBM, the largest concrete provider in Lam Dong province. LBM is a highly profitable company with a return on equity, ROE, of more than 20%. It holds a 50% market share in Lam Dong province and more than 80% in Dalat City. LBM's net profit has been increasing steadily over the last 10 years. However, in the first 3 months of 2024, LBM's stock price tumbled due to the exit of one of its largest shareholders, who owned a 10% stake. This aggressive sell-off caused the stock price to plunge nearly 15%, from around 23,500 Vietnamese dong per share to around 20,000 Vietnamese dong per share, significantly affecting LBM's market performance and unfortunately also the performance of the AFC Vietnam Fund in Q1 2024. The stock price only began to rally in June after the announcement of the Dao Jiao Lien Quang Expressway project, for which LBM is a keystone and a concrete provider. This project is expected to bring substantial profits to LBM, estimated at around 300 billion Vietnamese dong, 3 times its annual profit. While the project has not yet impacted LBM's financial reports directly, the expectation among retail investors has already driven the stock price up. Some may view the stock price increase with skepticism, thinking it's a trap since profits have not yet risen. However, considering LBM's valuation, this jump is justified. After rising more than 50% in June and July, LBM's price-to-earnings ratio, or PER, is still only around 11 times earnings, a reasonable figure for a fast-growing company with a strong 10-year track record. Moreover, as we have analyzed previously, the Vietnamese government is committed to aggressive infrastructure investments to sustain long-term economic growth. This rapid completion of the South-North Highway network within the next 2-3 years will be a significant driver in public investment and is not a temporary measure but a long-term trend, benefiting companies like LBM that are strategically positioned to capitalize on this growth. Currently, the AFC Vietnam Fund remains focused on export consumption and public investment sector. We believe that the growth in these areas is not merely a short-term trend, but a long-term movement that will continue for at least the next 5 to 6 years. Therefore, we are confident that the fund will experience sustainable fundamental growth over the long term, rather than being influenced by short-term market fluctuations. Party Secretary General Nguyen Phu Trong passed away on Friday, the 19th of July 2024 at 1:38 p.m. at the age of 80. Mr. Trong was a key leader of the Vietnamese Communist Party and a central figure in the country's anti-corruption campaign over the past decade. His significant achievements greatly contributed to reducing the corruption rate in Vietnam. Following his death, there are concerns among many investors, particularly foreign investors, about the potential for political instability or economic turmoil in Vietnam. However, from our perspective, especially that our fund manager, who is a Vietnamese citizen, Mr. Trong's death is unlikely to lead to instability in Vietnamese politics or the economy. Firstly, the Vietnamese Communist Party has already selected a successor for Mr. Trong's position, ensuring that there is no leadership vacuum akin to a snake without head. Secondly, Vietnam is managed and governed by a collective leadership rather than a single individual. No single person can unilaterally alter significant policies, especially long-term ones, such as foreign policy or economic strategies. Over nearly 40 years since the Doi Moi period began in 1986, Vietnam has seen several leaders to pass away or to be replaced during their terms without any immediate significant changes in political or economic policies. This is because most long-term policies are established for periods from 5 to 10 years, making it difficult for any leader to enact sudden changes. Therefore, while the loss of Mr. Trong is a significant moment, it is unlikely to disrupt the long-term stability and growth trajectory of Vietnam. Well, this is all from me. Thank you very much for listening, and you're going to hear from me again with another update at the end of next month. Thank you and goodbye.